Hi, everybody, and welcome to the JimBob Sports Jamboree, presented by TWS Remodeling and Experience Maple Grove. Jim Rich here, along with Tyler Gantz of TWS Remodeling and the guy who the JimBob Sports Jamboree is all about, number 44, Chuck Foreman, with us as well. The season's over. This week we heard from the head coach. We heard from the general manager, their plans for the future. And the headline coming out of that, well, there's a couple of headlines, but actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 headlines. Yeah. Number one, Chuck, is that they are saying that there will be a competition for quarterback.
And that should be. Let's put it this way. I think JJ has enormous talent. Number one, he's inexperienced. And number two, he's too immature. I mean, that's what he's shown me. So how can I depend on a guy like that, even though he's got the skill set to do the things that he needs to do, but is he ready both mentally and physically to do what we need to do to get to that next level? I don't think he's ready. So it should be a competition, and they should bring somebody in here too. They got to bring a quarterback in here if they want to do what they need to do right now.
Well, competition's healthy, right?
Competition's very healthy.
Very healthy. And plus, JJ hasn't been able to stay healthy himself because he's so young.
Right.
And you're right, the immaturity of him dancing in the end zone when your coach told you not to, that just sticks in my mind.
That's just what we see. You know, I mean, certainly he's got talent, but what I'm saying, hey, you got to show that leadership. And to me, that's not, that's not leadership. That's just personal satisfaction.
Yeah, and so what kind of quarterback? I mean, we don't know what's available free agent-wise, but what kind of quarterback do you think they should be looking for, Chuck?
Well, they should be looking for a guy that, number one, that can make things happen on his own if he needs to. They got to have a guy that's going to be smart and make good, sound decisions. They're out there for sure. There's some guys out there that you see that are backups that could possibly be a good starter here. Heck, even Kirk Cousins is going to be out there.
That's what I was going to bring up.
You know what I mean? And so you see, well, here, let me explain that. I think with the weapons that we have and the maturity and the experience that he has will give JJ the opportunity to sit back and watch a pro. I mean, at work. You know, I'm not talking about a football. I'm talking about a guy that's a consummate pro. One thing about Kirk Cousins is he's prepared. You know, he's going to be setting a good example how to run a team. Plus, the situation, like he's 30, 6, 7, whatever it is.
Right.
Couple years, JJ, you know, I mean, to me, that would be a good scenario. But there's others out there. You know, you got Malik Willis is going to be out there from Green Bay. He's done a great job. We've got several, but we need a quarterback because we have a talented offensive team. If the offensive line can stay healthy, the defense is, as long as Brian Flores is there, is going to be great. I don't know how long or if he's going to be there.
Right, we'll get to that.
So
we'll get to that.
Yeah. So it's they got a lot of work to do because to me, the leadership messed up this past year by the decisions that they made.
For sure.
For, our quarterback and all that. I think they rolled the dice, as I said before, and they crapped out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, here's another reason why Cousins would be good. One, Chuck said, long in the tooth. So he's not looking for a spot where he can play 5, 6 years. Right. He's looking at 1, maybe 2.
Right.
The other thing is Kirk, I think, would be a mentor, right? You have some guys that when they're the quarterback, I could care less about the backup. Right. I'm not going to spend any time with them. So I think that's another favor.
He just looks so bad in Atlanta. I mean, he just looked bad. And do we really have that much better of an offensive line to give him? We haven't been able to stay healthy all year, right? So
he looked pretty good before his Achilles fell apart here.
I understand that, but his time in Atlanta did not serve him well.
Well, Atlanta's Atlanta.
I get it. I will agree with you on the mentorship. I think he is a perfect mentor, right?
Yes.
But I just
And he also knows this system. So he wouldn't come in going like,
True.
oh, gee, I how do you guys do this? He would be able to jump in. He'd probably know more of the playbook than J.J. McCarthy does right now.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Our offensive line's been questionable, and whatever they need to do, I don't know if it's nutrition or how they're working out, whether they're doing enough. With all the things they have out there that are available to get guys physically ready to play a long season, as an offensive lineman, we got guys that have had concussions. They've been injured. Our best players on the offensive line have not been there together at all. And so they need to sit down and evaluate how these guys are working out and what they need to do to avoid those types of injuries.
So what are we just going to slide the contract back across the table from Atlanta to us?
Atlanta reworked it.
How does that?
So it's not
Atlanta already reworked it, so
What does
they'll
that
probably
cost
be
us?
releasing him.
Right.
It probably won't cost. Well, Kirk always gets his money,
Right.
So he's not coming in for free, but
Yeah.
he should come in at a really cheap price, veterans minimum, because like he knows there's not a lot there. I think he enjoyed his time here.
Right.
I think he likes O'Connell. I think he likes being in Minnesota. His family liked it here. I think he'd be willing to come back.
The guy's got $340 in the bank.
Right? He don't need no more cash.
He got $340. He got
He's
$340.
got what
I don't
he
know if
needs.
it's all in it, but hey, he done darn good. If any quarterback, if all the quarterbacks in the league coming from where he came and where he is, he's done. He might have been, as far as financials go, made some great decisions.
All right,
And
so
been in some good places.
from the fan perspective, this is my job here, right?
Yes, sir.
If he comes back cheap and he was going to be a mentor and his role here is to get JJ on the field, give him 1 or 2
No, he's
more
not
years.
here to get him on the field now. He's here to produce.
Well, in 2 years.
Okay,
Part of the
but-
deal. Part of the deal, right? But he's
All
got to
right.
produce next year. I want a winning record. I want to have a chance to go to the playoffs every season as
And
a
I
fan.
think he'll
right?
be able to produce that.
If we get him at, you're saying, I don't know, what is the minimum? 15 million, 10 million, something
well,
like
wait a
that for a
minute.
veteran? I mean, that'd be, I'm down for that.
All right, fine. But the offensive line.
We need
That
to
got
pay
to
the
stay
offensive
together
line.
before anybody can do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kurt's going to be here, and you're giving him, if let's face it, you give him the time, he's going to do what he got to do.
Yeah.
Our offensive line has got to stay healthy.
100%.
They've got to. So whatever they got to do, reevaluate how they're doing their workouts, off-season workouts, or whatever they got to do to entice these guys to stay here and get that personal, or most of them have personal trainers any darn way, but
Yeah.
they got to. However they're working out, they got to do it different. What's the tackle's name? Darisaw.
Yes.
He definitely got to figure out what he got to do.
Well, don't
'Cause
you
he's
think
hurt all the time.
it's a mental state at some point too, right? Like you just aren't ready to get hit that hard, then you're all of a sudden now you're hurt, right? I think mental toughness has a long ways to go in the game of football
There
in
you
general.
go. You got to be mentally ready to go, man. It's all right when you're hurt. That's one thing, but when you're injured, we understand that. But hurt, everybody gonna have some hurts.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't play hurt anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just say
Mike talks about that all the time.
Yeah, they don't. They get a little ding here, a ding there. Oh, I can't do it.
Okay.
That's because they can't take the pain.
Yeah, exactly. You can't take the pain.
You go back to the playoff game, the Bills playoff game.
Right.
If J.J. McCarthy got hit like Josh Allen did in that game, hit his hand on the helmet,
Right.
Yeah.
all of
He's
that.
been out of the game.
I got a fracture. What?
I'm telling
Get
you,
out there and play.
when you really, really start when you evaluate guys,
Yeah.
the physical part is one thing, but that mental toughness, that is the thing that you got to check out. You got to go to those coaches and they're hey, what's this guy do when he's dinged up a little bit? Can he answer the bell? Mm-hmm. And they know. Well, no, coach will tell you straight up, man. He gets a little something that he don't want to play.
In my
A
opinion,
lot of guys are like that.
the mental toughness is more important than the athletic ability. I think that you can be a little less athletic, but be a dog inside.
If you got that type of mentality,
Yeah.
where you're gonna tough it out,
Don't matter.
don't matter. I'm gonna take one of those. I'm gonna take one of those guys. I'm gonna take somebody that's got enormous talent, but may show up and may not show up.
All right. How about this for a backup quarterback? Aaron Rodgers. What did you see of him at Pittsburgh? If he wants to go again, do you take a flyer on Rodgers. Now, he's not the kind that has been a mentoring quarterback. He didn't care. He could care less about Jordan Love when he was there in Green Bay.
Right, I understand
but
that.
maybe he's changed since then.
Maybe that might be an option, but you can't evaluate him from that last game I saw with Pittsburgh and
I agree.
That Texas defense. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
It's scary.
It was scary. I mean, the DBs, the safeties, the corners, the linebackers, they can run and they can hit and they can cover. That was like, in my opinion, when they played Pittsburgh, it was like,
yeah,
I couldn't watch it anymore. I had to turn it off.
After watching that game,
I had to turn it off.
My opinion changed on who was winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, these guys.
I hadn't watched Houston all year. Like, It's not a team I watch, but they are.
But then the
good.
turnovers they had too, and they still were able to come back and they beat the crap out of Pittsburgh. Let's put it like that. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. He might be an option, but
the fans say no. The fans say no.
Yeah, the fans might say no.
No, thank you.
All right, what about swinging for the fences? And if Joe Burrow becomes available, would that be something that you would see? So you basically would be closing the door on J.J. McCarthy if you made a move like that for Joe Burrow. You'd be reuniting him with Jefferson.
I'd do that in a minute. In a minute.
No question.
No doubt.
Tyler, you'd be happy with that?
If we could get him and it worked out somehow financially, we'd have to do it.
I'd do that. I'd do that in a minute.
If we didn't lose a whole bunch of offensive weapons and we had him, I'm okay with our defense suffering a little bit, right? But we can't afford everybody.
If he came available and the Vikings did nothing, I'd disassociate myself.
You heard it. Write that down. Write that down.
There it is.
Because at that point, I would say they don't want to win. That would tell me they don't want to win.
Yeah, I hear you.
Right.
All right, speaking of winners, Tyler, what do you got going on right now at TWS Remodeling?
Man, it's so much fun. We're coming into our 25th year in business. And with that, the $25,000 giveaway, we're doing another one of those because we just had so much fun doing the last one. So kicking off, home show kickoff for us this week, and we'll be at the Hyatt Home Show over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come on down and check things out. Bringing out bathrooms. Our new thing coming in February is decks. We're now doing decks. And that's going to be fully on board. I just met with a couple of great guys today. They've been building decks for 25 years. We're amped and ready to put that in. But the big thing with us is we're celebrating this 25th year anniversary with giving another $25,000 away. It just really worked out. The people that we gave it to are just so awesome.
Welcome back to the JimBob Sports Jamboree, presented by TWS Remodeling and Experience Maple Grove. And gentlemen, we are going to tell people how they can get free entries to their ice fishing contest that they're having at the end of January. Ooh. We got a way for you to be involved, so we'll get to that. We're hooking you to listen longer. You like that one? We'll use that one. We're throwing that one out. We'll put a little bait out, and then we'll give you the email address that you need to send your entries to, and they'll pick a lucky winner that gets free admission, and they can win some big prizes. All right, Chuck, Brian Flores. Some interesting things that Kevin O'Connell said in his final press conference about the situation. He said that the Vikings tried to re-sign him way back in training camp, and Brian and his representatives said no.
Right.
They wanted to get to this point.
Right.
Now, both O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the general manager, say they're confident they will get him back. He's already interviewed for Baltimore.
Right.
No.
I think the town that would take him, if it's not the Raiders, would be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think that's a great possibility, no question about it, because you've got Mike Tomlin. I remember when he was here, I just was so impressed with him when I met him here. And look how long he coached. He's one of the best to ever do it here in the NFL. Brian Flores, I think, has that same type of personality, that same type of ability to motivate, to lead. But the only thing is that lawsuit against in the NFL and what the ownerships, what their attitudes are going to be, or how they behind the scenes, handle that type of situation. But hopefully, I don't mean to be selfish, but I hope he's back because he's the backbone of the team.
I wonder, maybe you can answer this, maybe you can't, but the Rooneys are a powerful family in the National Football League, even though it's down a generation, but still a very powerful name in the National Football League and how the league is operated. Do you think that would help them get through the lawsuit and try to figure out a way to a path to get that behind them and have the league figure out a way to settle with Brian or resolve it because it seems like they would have the ear of the commissioner.
Right. Well, the Rooneys would. They're a powerful group. They've only had 4 coaches in their whole existence. That says a lot for how they do things and their first-class organization. So, and I think Brian Flores has everything that they would need to take them to the next level. I'm not saying Tomlin, he's been, 10 years, never had a losing season.
Longer than that.
19 years.
Longer than that.
19
years.
Isn't that crazy?
And sometimes it's good to make it, he's the one that stepped away.
He walked away. Yep.
He stepped away and said, okay, now it's time for you to find somebody else, and he's going to do something else. But when he does come back, he'll have a job anywhere he wants. But I think Brian Flores would be a great fit in Pittsburgh. That would be the right organization with the right guy.
Right mentality. The franchise has that mentality that he has.
And he's able to motivate these guys, much like Tomlin. And, sometimes you get a guy there, he's really good, but sometimes the changes might be needed, just like a player, just make a change. So
they're both really good fits, I think.
It was a respectful departure.
Yes.
No doubt. Mike just said, okay, if they would have went on and kept going, that's another story. But they said, okay, look, it's time for you to get somebody else to lead the group.
Look, for Flores, obviously we want him to stay. Everybody wants him to stay.
Yeah.
But, he's already passed by a couple of different opportunities, I'm sure. But, both of those teams, you think, the Ravens and, Ray Lewis and that whole history there, but then Pittsburgh. But I just think Pittsburgh is a much better fit for Brian Flores. He's just a no BS kind of guy, right? Just the way he coaches. So I'm 100%.
What was that, Ryan Fitzpatrick?
The Ravens not a bad choice either, right? But,
yeah, I think it was the guy, Ryan Fitzpatrick. He said that he was too much of a, hey, man, if you can't handle the stuff, don't be on the team.
Exactly.
That's why you didn't win anything, because you couldn't handle that.
Right. And Tua, what is Tua turned out to be, saying that, he was too hard on us all the time and too critical. And Brian probably has backed off from that and probably learned some things.
Yeah, he's at least learned some things, but, look at our defense. Those guys bring it every Sunday. And he's like, I don't know what it is with guys, but hey, just do the work and see the result.
But you gotta hit home with them and make a connection with them, and that's what seems like he really does.
But
he finds guys that have the talent he needs to put into his system, and then he shows them, you do this, you're going to succeed, and these guys flourish.
Not only the talent, but the mental capacity to handle how he coaches. Because he's not going to sugarcoat it. I love that as a player. When the coach comes to me and talks to me straight up, instead of with all the BS, I love that. When the coach comes, hey, look, this is the deal. He tells you just what you need to hear. Not what you want to hear, but you need to hear.
My favorite coaches were the ones that yelled the most because I knew they were doing it. If they stopped yelling, then you were in trouble because they stopped caring. Right? So they stopped caring.
Brian Flores, man, I'd go to bat for him 24/7.
Heck yeah.
How devastating would it be if he walks away. I mean, if he gets a head coaching position, you can kind of understand it.
Right.
But if he takes another DC position somewhere else in the league,
Yeah, that would be disappointing
really
to me.
tough.
and can say someone on the staff, can they replicate what he did if he left a notebook in the drawer at out in Egan and they go, oh, well, here, we can plug this in? Or
I don't
does
know
it have
that-
to be a complete different?
I don't know if anybody would have that same impact.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's like a no-nonsense dude, man.
His
But
energy.
he's a no-nonsense dude, and he does it respectfully. Like, this is the way I want you to do it, but if you don't do it, you out the door. So I'm letting you know, I'm going to be on you, I'm going to support you, and I'm going to do everything I can to make you the best you can be. But if you're not willing to make that commitment, you got to go.
Right. Another thing that's kind of popped into my head this week is does it seem like the NFL and these owners are firing too many coaches? I mean, we have 9. It's almost a third of the league. If you don't make the
Right,
playoffs,
right.
it's like you're getting kicked out. The Steelers are the only ones that
Right.
stay loyal to their guys.
It is a right now league. And, you draft a guy number 1 quarterback. They expect the guy to come in there and be the best quarterback in the league. No, it don't work like that. That's why you have we had 2 quarterbacks here, Donaldson. We keep saying Donaldson and Jones, just on the cusp of taking that next step to being all they can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the impatience of these owners, the impatience of, I don't want to say the coaches. The coaches are under pressure because the owners want them to win right now. The fans want them to win right now.
Well, you see a lot of teams in this league go from the bottom to the top in one season, right?
Well,
It happens. Any
You
given
saw
Sunday,
something
we've
like
talked
that
about
this
that.
year, but I'm just talking about in general. That's not happening. And then
You think
when they
Houston was
build
like
these
that?
teams, look, you cannot win with a rookie quarterback or an inexperienced quarterback with a crappy offense and defensive line. Can't do it. It's impossible. Even with, look, okay, Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that offensive line was,
Nowhere to be found.
he just looked like an ordinary quarterback.
Yeah.
So do you think these teams, these ownership group are not giving these?
They're not giving them enough
Time to develop?
especially the quarterback position.
I mean, because
They're not giving them time. And then if you are going to have a young guy like that, you better make sure he's got the people up front that can protect him. You better make sure you at least have that and a really good running game. Give him a chance. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Do you know what organization I think does do that? Gives a little more time than most. That's been successful year after, since the conception of the NFL is Green Bay. Like they give time to
Well, yeah,
Aaron
they-
Rodgers sat for how many years behind Brett Favre?
I love,
right?
but
How
you
many
know, he's
years
gonna
did
be all
Love
right.
sit behind Aaron Rodgers?
Right.
You know?
So it's going to
Yeah.
be, you can't just expect. And like, I don't expect JJ, but JJ's thing is immaturity and he's injury prone.
Yeah.
right, that's different than
Definitely.
learning.
Right.
That's
So
different than
his
learning.
issue.
Well, he's 23. He's
yeah,
he's
but
not,
22.
he's not big
23,
enough.
and he's
He's
not
not
ready
big
to
enough.
lead a team.
No,
Yep. All right.
mentally or physically.
All right,
No.
all right. We got to take a break. I can hear Bob telling me right now. We're going a little long in this segment. When we come back, we will tell you how to get involved in the Maple Grove, the Mayor's Ice Fishing Contest. We'll get into that. We'll give you the details of where you can register to win free entries. We'll do that after this. You're listening to the JimBob Sports Jamboree presented by TWS Remodeling. Welcome back to the JimBob Sports Jamboree presented by TWS Remodeling and Experience Maple Grove. And we're going to tell you now how you can get into their ice fishing contest for free. That's coming up January 31st on North Arbor Lake. It's the Mayor's Ice Fishing Contest. And here's all you have to do. Email marketing@experiencemaplegrove.com to enter. That's marketing@experiencemaplegrove.com to enter. You send in that. You say, hey, I want to fish for free. and they can take care of you, and you'll see if you are a lucky winner or not. You will be notified by those people. Once again, marketing at experiencemaplegrove.com. Adam Thielen retired this week, Chuck.
Right.
How will he be remembered in your mind? Where does he rank in Viking history? Because there has been so many fantastic wide receivers here over the years.
Well, he's certainly going to be ranked up there. Yeah, my thing with him is like where he came from Mankato's, free agent, came here, worked hard, and year by year he got better and better and better. Became one of the fixtures in Minnesota as far as wide receivers go. Does he go down as one of the greatest? No, but certainly he's ranked up there with one of the best to ever play his particular position. He played the slot. He did. I mean, he's to be commended for where he came in, and then had a great long career. Was certainly a vital part of the success of the Minnesota Vikings. And the only reason I say, does he rank up there? But look we've had some, the Randy Moss, Chris Carter's, Almar Rashad's, John Gilliam's, Sammy White's. Gene
Washington.
We can go on and on and on. Is he up there? But those guys, let's put it like this: for the type of receiver he was, he might rank up as the best at that level. But those guys were just.
Was he ever the number one receiver?
Thielen?
I don't think so.
No, because he had Diggs here before, and then Jefferson rolled in. He was always the two.
And then you got JJ here now, and it's like, hey, listen, let me tell you something. I don't know if there's ever been a receiver here that's been here that's come from where he came and has had the success that he's had. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Free agent, the local guy. And went on and had, how many years he played?
I think 13.
13 long, good years.
You think he's worthy of the Ring of Honor?
I think he is.
Yeah, you look at the Vikings are losing perhaps 3 heart and soul guys. That's where I think Thielen goes into the Ring of Honor. If it's a heart and soul, dedication, and making something out of yourself.
Right.
He, C.J. Ham, and Harrison Smith. Now, Harrison Smith was the number 1 pick, but C.J. and Adam Thielen are basically cut from the same cloth.
Exactly. Yeah. So, those are great players for the Minnesota Vikings, and they deserve the recognition, no doubt about it.
Let's not forget the writing on the wall here of him leaving, going to Pittsburgh, and Brian Flores not signing an extension. Like, what are we seeing here? Is this organization really as strong as we think it is? Like, I mean, that's kind of some big things we've kind of mentioned.
Well, the jury's out now.
Yeah, we'll see.
We see what they come back. This is the do or die year for this group.
Oh yeah. If Kwesi doesn't succeed, he's for sure.
Yeah, that includes the head coach. So
I agree.
All 3 of them are. Hey, you better reevaluate your decisions.
Yeah.
Because last year, you got an F.
I mean, they ended up costing the team. This was a playoff team, and the decisions made at the GM level and at the coaching level ended up costing them a playoff spot. Because you finished a half game out, and I can think of 4 or 5 games where mistakes were made by personnel decisions and then putting the product on the field.
Right. Remember we said, I always say this is a right now league, unfortunately. And so you can't mess around. Well, we got a young guy's coming, we think he's going to be great now. He better be great right now.
Right now.
Because it's a right now league. So you better have somebody here right now that can run that offense. And you better have some offensive linemen that can play consistently right now.
Yeah, this season was basically the Vikings buying a brand new car, and not buying insurance for it. Yeah, and they drove it into a pole.
That's a great analogy. Great analogy.
That's exactly what happened.
If they don't have a quarterback this year that leads us to the playoffs, I think that whole regime is gone.
They better go get them a quarterback, and they better go figure out a way to keep that offensive line healthy or get a new one.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All right, Chuck, before we go, Hurricanes, national championship.
Let's go.
Well,
give us the insight on your guys.
The inside. Okay, from my perspective, Indiana's a great football team, no question about it. What we saw and what I saw against Oregon, I don't know what team that was, that Oregon team. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they had a bunch of guys leave. You know how they leave?
Right.
Just,
right.
I don't
Turning
know
pro, don't want to risk it.
That was not the Oregon team that we saw during the regular season. They didn't even show up. And that quarterback they have that they say
Mendoza?
Moore. No, I'm not talking about Mendoza's
okay.
going to be great as a pro. That Moore, he better stay in Oregon because he ain't ready for the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to my Hurricanes, I think they are playing some great foot right now. But if they're going to win this game, they got to be dominant on the offensive side that big 380-pound average with 60-pound average offensive line. They better come ready to pound those guys because that's the only way they're going to win. Because the Indiana team is well coached.
Yeah,
no doubt about
it.
Well coached, and there's not going to be any room for any mistakes. So I like where we are. We are the underdog, of course, going into this game, but.
The Indiana coach is so funny too. He's always.
But I'm saying the Indiana we saw
always mad.
That beating they gave Oregon.
Yeah,
I don't think is a true. I mean, Oregon. I don't know what that team was. It just. I turned the game off.
Yeah,
that coach is
kind of
that
like
bad. Bud Grant though, never happy. Just they're up 30-0, and just still yelling at him and angry.
Yeah, that's okay. But I like our chances. But they better come ready to play.
I think it's because
Indiana's nothing to play with.
I think it's been 25 years since you won a national championship.
Right.
Bryant McKinney was on that team.
Right.
There were 38 players drafted into the NFL off of that one team.
Right.
It was
and they've got they've got a lot of great players down there, and so there's no question about that now. Because nobody expected us to be there.
And I'm super excited for you in Miami in the 25 years. But you know what I'm really excited about?
What?
Is this FBS tournament. This is fun. A 10th seed is in the championship, right? Like, this is why we did it. Like you said, you got to win now. You shouldn't just get to go because you're 11-1. Right?
Yeah, but like you say, we now keep going back to this Oregon game.
Yeah.
It's like, how, when you look at that game, you're like, there's no way possible they could have been one of the top 4 teams in the country. They couldn't possibly play that bad.
No.
And so I know they must have had some guys that just left or they just weren't ready.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was the worst football game I saw all year.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I know they were better than that.
Well, let's hope Indiana has the worst game of the year and the Hurricanes are national champs.
Well, me too. I'm hoping so, but I can't wait till Monday and we'll see how it goes.
All right. That'll do it for this segment. And remember, if you want to get in that Maple Grove fishing contest, ice fishing contest, the Mayor's Tournament on North Arbor Lake, all you have to do for free entry to get into the drawing is send an email to marketing@experiencemaplegrove.com. Get it in there. And they'll let you know if you are fishing for free over $5,000 in prizes. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, Bob Sansevere on the other side. This is the JimBob Sports Jamboree presented by TWS Remodeling.